Hi everyone. Okay. Crazy hair lady. Crazy hair lady today coming in here very shortly and just giving you a quick little update. Um, did have a beautiful connection today with one of my clients, just loved it. And I that really is very uplifting when I can connect with somebody and be able to give them a reading. And then I had to do a little thing for EI because I am on EI right now. Um, I did that, and I woke up this morning and I was feeling very under the weather, still a little bit underneath the weather. Um, the connection doing the reading with Jillian today really was an uplift, tell you that. That really gave me a little boost of energy. It always does, but it's where we are today, especially with the sun going into Virgo, and we have the moon heading off into Sagittarius making and then we'll be in the um, three-quarter square moon as of tomorrow, and this is really crazy types of energy, and very can be very disruptive, can be very where you're expecting everything to go one way, or you're trying to do something in one way, but it's um, not to give up on what you're doing, but it's maybe you need to find a new way of doing it, or a new strategy. This isn't about, quitting everything and then starting something new. This isn't totally the energy to do that. Plus, we had Mercury going retrograde today. And the thing is that we also have Uranus going retrograde. Now, the outer planets usually have have the last say with things because they're slower moving. So they'll have the last say on how things are going to be and how things are going to turn out. And since Uranus being in there since 2011, this was a real showing of disruption and how um, the direction we're supposed to be taking, the new direction that we need to be taking within our world, within our finances, our relationships, our health, the whole bit. And this is where you can find where things might get a little bit. My word is Harry Carry. That's the word that keeps on coming in, and or you could say hysteria, if you want to use that word, but I keep on getting Harry Carry, so a little bit disruptive and all over the place. And in doing that, that means that you really have to pay attention to the smaller things that are going on in your life. You're trying to manage the macro or the bigger things, and it's the smaller things that are going to be the disruptive. It's the smaller things when you don't clean your house. Okay, well, she's outside, so that's a good thing. It's the smaller things that you have to look at. um, if you're not changing your bedding all the time, why are you getting bit and you got bed bugs or something? Or you're not taking the garbage out and you get a bunch of get a bunch of worms or something, flies or infestation, because you're not paying attention to the smaller things. And that's what you have to start doing. Pay attention to the smaller things because they're going to help you to lead to something better and bigger in your life. And keep you a little bit, will keep you a lot more grounded than if you are just distracted by a thousand other things all at once. So I didn't pull my cards. I didn't bring the cards out today. So I'll do that tomorrow. But I just want you guys to just be aware. The energies are intense. Watch your habits, those little things that get you that you have to do it this way, or it has to be this way, or it has to look this way. That's really what's going to throw people off. If you have an expectation that things have to be a certain way and go a certain way, and they're not, like you have to drive the car, to work in this direction, or my coffee doesn't look the way I really want it to look, or whatever. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of little examples. It can really throw you off. It's like the four cups. So things can be very disruptive, and can really throw you off track with everything. And you might be, even especially with that Neptune Jupiter square, that you want it to be a certain way, get very aggressive in what you are wanting, and be over obsessive with something. So watching how you're being over obsessive with your energies, and the directions that you want to take. So honoring yourself, because it'll happen, things will trigger you. You know, you have a little tick that says, oh, I only use the branded toothpaste changed in some way, whether it's the box it is in, or but the toothpaste in it is still fine, but you always wanted it to look like this. It reminds me of my dad when he had a toothpaste that he always used for years, and it was Pepsodent, and he used Pepsodent toothpaste, and it was powdered, and he used to buy it, and all of a sudden they stopped making it, right? But he found another toothpaste. I mean, it was just as good and it does the job, but he wanted everything to be that way. That's the way he wanted it. You know, from the soap he used to everything. That was just those little ticks that he had, of things having to be a certain way. And when they weren't, it kind of throws you off. And when it throws you off, that means you feel not grounded and you feel a little bit all over the place. So that's the way, with the energies that are going on. And you're going to find that, this could be, oh, hello, little bug, that those little rivalries that you're having in your life, or little rivalries that are going on, they're really not that important through the whole scheme of things. It's like those are the things that need to be put aside and say, okay, what is it? What is that's important? What is it that I need to work on here, instead of focusing on what, you know, those little squabbles and stuff that you're having. So, especially with Uranus coming in, and then also with, now we have Mars going into Libra, and Mars is going to be conjuncting the South Node, and that it doesn't matter what sign, but Mars is in detriment in Libra, does not want to, work on your feelings and work on your relationships. It's like, nah, let's get going, right? And the South Node can really pull you down into things that make you over obsessive about how the relationship is supposed to be and how it's supposed to look, and get very obsessive over things. So get over obsessive of the justice. It has to be justified. I want it justified. It has to be like this. I mean, we're seeing that. I'm going to pull in Trump. I mean, hey, he has to give, he has to pay. Like, what the fuck? You can get over obsessive, and that's what you're going to be seeing. It's people getting over obsessive over a lot of things, especially on the world scene. And what's happening, within South Africa with the G7 conference that is going on, which it seems like a real big shit show, to what's going on with South Africa summit with the BRICS, and what's going to be unfolding with that. Now, I know a lot of African countries want to join, but I can't see them joining right away. I know that they really want to bring in Mexico, because Mexico's going to be a camel that breaks, the straw that breaks the camel's back, because it's right there on the United States. And it's going to be saying to the United States, basically putting up the middle finger to the United States, I really don't need you. I don't need your bullshit anymore. I don't need you to be telling me what I can and cannot do within my country. And I think that's what's happening right now, is that a lot of people are putting up the middle finger and saying to the states, I don't need you. I don't need you to be telling me what I need and don't need. And this is where you're going to see, like, even in your own life, it's like something that you're just done with. I don't need you to be telling me. This is what I need to be doing for me, and standing in my spiritual power and into my light. So I say, intensity's out there. Just be aware of it. My hair, I had it, I couldn't keep it up anymore. I ended up getting a really bad headache, which is another thing. I don't usually get headaches. So, but, even with me over obsessing with getting this one book, and I finally got it done, but it took a lot for me to just get, it's a logbook that I did, it's a blood sugar logbook, and getting it done and getting it up. And then there's the other one with my vision board book, that I have to redo the whole thing, and it's going to be the fourth time I redo it. But it's where finding a new way to do it, finding a new, way of creating it and putting things together with that. So, to where I'm wanting to set up the Etsy shop, and the Etsy shop, I know I have to, before I set that up, I have to have at least $300 set aside to set that up. So there's something I have to work on. in order for me to do it, because when orders come in, I have to pay for those orders, right? I don't have a credit card. So these are the things that, all right, what is it that I can work on? What is it that I can start working on and start creating? So that means, training myself, finding out what I need to know and making sure I'm doing it right, you know, with everything. And then when it doesn't turn out, then maybe, going back and tweaking it, not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but learning a new way of doing it instead of trying to recreate it in the same way over and over again. And it's not working. That's called insanity, actually. So, you know, um, just be kind to yourself today. I'll come in tomorrow with some more info, and then into the weekend, we're going to be talking about what a lot of these retrogrades are going to be meaning for us, and what are we going to be expecting from things to do with the religious front, which you're going to be seeing going crazy, to where people are thinking, oh, we're going to get locked down again and stuff. I really don't see that happening. I've warned you about the other lockdown, so trust me on this one. How are they going to lock you down when nobody has money? Nobody has money, and the government doesn't have money to give you to stay home. That's not that'll be more detrimental to the economy than anything. And you want to see a country collapse like that, that's a huge way to have a country collapse even faster than what it is already. So I don't see that happening right now, but I'll come in, a little bit tomorrow and more on the weekend, and talk about more about some of the other shenanigans the planets are going to have us go through for us to really be our strength and our power of who we are. So have a blessed day, everybody. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all that you say and all that you be. And we will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.